Hey everyone, Jason from Shapeshifter Sculpting. How you doing? Wanted to do kind of a recap here of what's been going on. It's been a while since I've made a video for YouTube. And then I think what I'll have is this video kind of lead into painting video. I had taken a bunch of footage painting the blast face zombie, and thinking I might set that up and maybe do some voiceover, kind of talk about what I did. So yeah, what's been going on? Well, speaking of blast face, here he is, the first one. Pretty happy with the way this turned out. As I get into production here, I'm probably make some adjustments, but nothing major. So yeah, now I'm thinking I'll probably even do some variants, maybe some that are a little more light colored flesh instead of rotting flesh, or a mixture of both. Maybe a little difference in the eye and the kind of cataract. But yeah, maybe some with hair, some without. I think the hair actually adds like a nice little quality to it. But yeah, so there's that. That just got wrapped up like, I don't know, a week or two ago. Since then, I've been on priming everything, getting ready for paint, because I am now about ready to start production of what I have at least on hand. I got a bunch of handful of magnets. We got blast face, we got Joker face. We're going to be doing a Joker bust. I still have to make more of these. This was the test run. And we'll be doing the biomechanicals. So yeah, I got those all prepped up, ready to go. And then I need to make a bunch of stuff, because the BCAF is end of August. It's 2 days. I have an 8-foot table. I got an 8-foot because I needed my wife to help me. And that was the only way to get 2 chairs. But I certainly don't have enough materials to fill up an 8-foot table. So looking to make a bunch more of these, and maybe some other items. And then also going to be starting on a mask. Here's my Ed head. He's going to be getting clayed up here pretty soon. Actually in about a week. I have a week of vacation coming up. Not next week or this coming week, but the following week. So I'm going to be doing a lot of work in here, a lot of painting, a lot of casting, and working on a Halloween mask. So that's going to be exciting. I don't know yet what I'm going to do. I have a couple sketches I'm kind of playing around with. I'm thinking I want to do one more sketch, and then I might throw it up on Instagram, just ask people what they think, which one I should go with, just for a little interaction. Yeah, so, and speaking of that kind of stuff, I still struggling for time with social media. I haven't figured out yet a really good way to kind of integrate it in what I'm doing. It's really important, obviously, but yeah, I really need to sit down and kind of work out a plan. I had one drawn up, but then I never really put it into place. But it also requires me too to like shoot a lot of, more video and take more pictures. And those are kind of things that I often forget because I'm in the moment, I'm doing what I'm doing, and I don't want to stop and, start doing that. But need to start implementing that. So we have the BCAF at the end of August, and then September 1st, I'm launching my online store. I thought I was going to have that thing launched in the spring. I completely underestimated the amount of time it was going to take me to get ready. And then I think this is probably a good way. Go to the BCAF. If I sell anything, great. This first time around, it's a learning experience. I'm hoping I sell some stuff, but it ultimately, I'm not counting on it. But if I do, that's great. And then whatever I have left over will then be available on the store. I'll push the store, and then I will be starting some other stuff that, I don't think I'll feel this pressured, which will be nice. And I'll be able to do some more sculpting. I feel like all I've been doing is like working on paint stuff, which has been fun, but I want to sculpt more stuff. I'm going to create more things. Yeah, so September I'm guessing I'll probably do another mask, depending on how the first one goes. And then I have a request I have to do for my mother, which is something I put off just because I've been busy, plus I'm also a little bit, I don't know, I'm not saying I'm overly excited about it. She wants a little cat with wings, so I'll be doing that. But I figured, okay, what I'll do is after that, I'll resculpt some components of it and I'll make it actually fucking cool. Like maybe a skull kind of head or a griffin kind of look to it, something. I'll end up utilizing it in some way to make it fitting for my store. My wife also wants a fairy. I'm considering doing that. And with the idea that I can then turn it into a very dark and evil fairy afterwards. That'll also give me another opportunity to, well, both of these will give me another opportunity to work on wings. My first attempt at wings was for the tooth fairy, and I can't say that I was very satisfied with those. But yeah, so I think that is just about everything. I'm trying a new layout. My painting experience when I did the Joker and I did the biomechanical and blast space was I had quickly kind of boxed myself into this corner on the table and it was just kind of materials all around me, but in a very small space. So I've spread my painting space out. I can say that priming everything was a lot more enjoyable. I felt a little, I had more room to work. I also have a garage chair now that I can get gunked up and everything, which makes working a lot more comfortable because I was working on hard stools. But yeah, I think that is everything for the time being. All right, thanks for tuning in. I think I'm gonna just segue right into that video and talk a little bit about what I was doing in that. Okay, thanks. Okay, so here we are with the blast face. So I started by putting a kind of dark coat over him. Here I'm drying it up, and then I just kind of patted it off. And this was to fill in all the little lines with some detail. Now I'm going over it, creating a little bit of veins in the head. This was, as it gets layered, they kind of fade into the background, but then you can kind of still see them. Here, doing kind of an overcoat, and then starting to work some details in there. Some like preliminary kind of reds for the sores and the blast part of his face. Yeah. So then switch from airbrush to some brushwork to do some touching up. Here I am doing a little more finer detail work. One thing I did was kind of go back and forth with layers, kind of pushing and pulling. At one point, it was a little greener than I wanted, so then I toned it down with a warmer overspray. Here I am doing more detail work on the sores, kind of touching them up, trying to bring out some of those deeper crevices and so that it'll accentuate the highlights. Yep, another round of layers on the sores. I think I'm putting in a kind of purplish bruise color on that. Then moving into some brushwork, getting in some good reds, kind of get that raw meat look. And then as you can see, I went through and I darkened it up, and now I'm kind of going over and with a dry brush there, and then I kind of overlaid some of this like brown decay. So I started working on the eyes with an off-white. As I see, I just jumped right. The eyes were finished, but then there I am putting a cataract into the one. And there's some hair work here. It's using a matte medium to stick it to the head. And then there's the finished product.